Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to another episode of the most offensive podcast ever. I'm Slimmy V, and today I am going to be talking about father arrested for misgendering his child. The reason I put this into question is because when searching for this story, that's what it says, but is that what really going on? Okay? Of course, I'm going to talk to you about this story with objectivity, without bias. I'm going to give it to you straight, fair, and balanced, as the news media out there should. Okay, now before I get into this story about a father who was put in jail for misgendering his child, I'd like you to hit that like button. I also would like you to subscribe to the channel, spread the channel so the channel grows more and more every day. Those of you that's been commenting and sharing and also subscribe to this channel, I'd like to give you a big thank you for doing so. I really appreciate every single one of y'all. All right, let's get down and dirty with this story. Okay, to give you the gist of the story, I'm going to read the title. Father arrested, held in jail for repeatedly violating court orders over child's gender transition therapy. Okay, just to give you a summary of what's going on. Father, mother, child. Okay, the child was born a female. The child have gender dysphoria. She don't know who he is. Sounds confusing? Because it is. The father does not want this child to get surgery. The mother, on the other hand, is with the child and is fighting for the child to get the surgery. So that's the battle that we have here at this moment. And the father has been arrested, as I read in this article, because he has revealed the name of the child or the gender of the child, as he has been told by the courts to not do that. And he repeatedly violated this and therefore could be locked up if found guilty for up to 5 years. Now, I want you to think for one moment. This is your daughter. And what do you feel about gender dysphoria? What is going through your mind? If you have a son and a daughter, or a daughter, and your child does not understand what gender is, and they don't know who they are, how do you deal with that? Think of the emotions that is going on inside of you. Before, I wanted to be fair and balanced. First, I wanted to let you know that, okay, I don't know if they are putting them in jail for just misgendering. This is why I questioned it, right? It was a repeated violation of court orders over the child's gender transition therapy. He's putting it out there, and people are now realizing and knowing who these people are in the court. But I'm going to read a little bit of the article, and I need you to put yourself in the child's shoes also, and I need you to put yourself in the father's shoes and in the mother's shoes. Gather all those thoughts and all those emotions, separate each and every single one of them, and come up with an answer. I did. As a father, I want my daughter to remain my daughter. This might offend people, but this is my opinion. This is why I named this podcast the most offensive podcast, because I'm gonna say things that will offend people. And I make no apologies for it, because when the others disregard my feelings, they don't make any apologies for that either. So it is time for us to kind of do what we have to do, say what we gotta say, with love and truth also. We don't have to mock them. We don't have to make fun of them. We don't have to drag them through the mud. But we speak with truth. What they say about the truth. It shall set you free. Let's get on with this article. All right. Okay. Now, it gets a little bit confusing because they are trying to hide the identity of these people that are in there. Okay? So I'm just going to read. Okay, BC father who objects to his teenage child's gender transition therapy was arrested on Tuesday and put in jail until at least Friday for repeatedly speaking publicly about aspects of the case. The father, known as CD, okay, has been charged with criminal contempt for allegedly violating court orders and is being held in custody until a bail hearing on Friday. The criminal charge is one that, if found guilty, could see him spend as much as 5 years behind bars. Okay, don't get confused with the letters. Okay, know who's attached to what letters. The case stems from CD's battle to prevent his child, AB, as the child is known, from receiving gender transition hormone therapy. But what began as a family court dispute has now wound up in criminal charges due to allegations that CD is persistent in violating court orders. CD, the father, he is violating the court orders because he refused to accept the child as what the child thinks he or she is. Okay? He is taking the child as the daughter that was born at birth. Okay? And because he is misgendering, that's an issue. So we're getting closer to answering whether the father was arrested for misgendering his child. Let me continue. The orders instruct him not to make public any information that would identify AB or the medical professionals involved, to call AB is the child, to call AB by the child's preferred name and gender pronoun, and to not share his opinions of the case publicly. They ordered him to acknowledge his child by what the child wants to be called. They also asked the father to not make any public opinions on what is going on with this case. So that is what's going on. So it's a combination of several things. Do not talk about the case. Do not misgender your child. Let me continue. The British Columbia Court of Appeal laid out the court orders CD was to abide by in January 2020. Since then, BC Prosecution Service alleges he has failed to do so on multiple occasions. In June 2020, CD, the father, gave an interview to a YouTube channel where he's alleged to have identified healthcare providers, revealed information about AB's, the child, mental health, medical status, or treatments, and gave out information that could reveal CD, AB, and the mother's identity. So it's a combination of several things. Hopefully you guys are keeping up with the letters. He was charged with contempt of court, and that matter will come before the court in April, I guess, of this year. So Don't know if it happened. On Tuesday, CD was back in court, arrested for allegedly breaching court orders again. The BC Prosecution Service told National Post that the subsequent breach of court order allegations are being treated as aggravating circumstances. It does not necessarily follow that such conduct equates to the kind of psychological or emotional abuse that would constitute family violence. Okay, he still faces just the one contempt of court charge, the prosecution service said. The case has become emblematic of the complex ethical and legal issues that arise in gender dysphoria cases, including who gets to make their own medical decisions, what role parents have to play, and at what age young people are able to make these life-changing decisions. Let me stop right there and discuss this with you. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to comment below. At what age should a child, preferably, let's be fair, a teenager, should be able to make decisions? At what age can a child make medical decisions that's life-altering? Such as this. The child was born female, wants to become a male. I believe as we get down in the article, you will see that. Do you think this child is old enough to make a life-altering decisions? Yes or no? Comment below. And for those of you who say yes, they should, here is my question. If a child or a teenager was going through appendicitis and the child was screaming, I'm in pain, I'm hurt, and they said, yo, we gotta take your appendix out. They said, no, I do not want you to take my appendix out. I want to live. What is your choice? Do you allow the child to make that decision, or do you say knock the child out and do what you got to do to save the child's life? What do you do? That is my question, because this is life altering. If the child had appendicitis and wanted to make a life altering decision by telling the doctors, no, you know what, leave my appendix where it is. If it bursts and I die, let me die. Or you as a parent, do you override what your child say and then make that decision for your child in order to save your child's life? Oh, but Slim, this is really extreme what you're saying. No. If you are a female and then you are now going to take hormone blockers to prevent breast and you from being able to have children, that is life altering. That is huge. Okay, and if you are born a male, chopping off your noodles is life altering. That is huge. I would make that decision for my child and say, yo, you're not chopping off your noodle. I'm sorry. Let me get on with this because there might be other stuff that I actually want to discuss. While doctors and families usually work together to come to consensus on treatment plans, this case has wound its way through the courts, pitting parents and child against one another. What did the Bible say that will happen in the end? Children will go against their parents, parents against the children. Who's making this possible? The courts, the government is actually giving children power to fight for their rights. What? So biblically, it's coming to fruition. That's no surprise to me. Let's continue. Okay, CD objects to AB. Okay? Who was assigned female at birth. So CD, of course, is the father, AB is the child. The child was assigned female at birth. I hate when they say assigned, okay? God gives everyone their DNA. And every single DNA that has ever been given is different. Okay? So God made this person female at birth. Okay? But is receiving gender transition treatments. The child's mother, EF, supports the child treatment. This is the worst thing that you can do if you are. Now, I don't know if they currently married. But the mother is actually saying, screw the father, I'm with my child. And I need this to happen for my child. Instead of waiting for the child to be an adult and wait. Just wait. Be an adult, because in the United States they say you are, oh, this is Canada, I think. I think you are 18, an adult in Canada. I don't know what age is the age for you to make these type of decisions, but wait till adult age, make your decision. What you choose, that's up to you. Will I be heartbroken as a father? Yes, I will. But you are an adult. But in this case, it's not an adult. And the fact that the mother is going against the father's will, that's troubling. And that's devious. Because now the child is going to put in its mind, okay? Notice I said it because I'm confused, right? In its mind that the father don't love me. When that means the father loves you to death. I don't want you to change. I want you to be my daughter, my princess. At age 11, AB, who is the child, knew. Notice how this article says. At age 11, AB knew he was male, right? Instead of saying she knew she was male, right? Instead of saying that, look how they kind of screwing you up and they really confuse you. There's going to be a lot of confusion, as in the Bible states. Like, notice, like, look, for those of you that's not biblical, fine. But notice how some of these things were spoken of biblically. There's going to be a lot of confusions in the world. And here we are with the most confusion thing that you can ever speak about. Okay, so let me continue again. At age 11, AB, who is a child, knew he was male. At age 12, began to socially transition, says a 2020 court decision, enrolling in school under a chosen male name and using male pronouns with his teachers and peers. And the mother is with that. The father, of course, objects. EF took him to a number of psychologist appointments when the teen was 13. EF is, I believe, the mother. When persistent discomfort with his body led him to want to take steps to appear more masculine. By August 2018, AB had met with an endocrinologist, setting out a hormone treatment plan without the father's approval. CD objected. In December 2018, CD went before the Provincial Court of British Columbia to prevent the treatment without his consent. All right? So they're saying the father went to prevent the treatment without the child's consent. Like, who are you? You're the child. What do you mean without the child's consent? This is so ridiculous. Like, who's the parent? Let me continue. That application successfully prevented AB from seeking treatment. Further applications were made before the Supreme Court of British Columbia by AB, who wanted to be declared able to make his own health decisions, and CD, who sought to prevent treatment and bar a variety of groups from counseling him regarding treatment. The dad is fighting. does not want the child to go through this. On February 27, 2019, Justice Gregory Bowden ruled that AB was able to consent to medical treatment. Wow. In the ruling, the judge also issued a de facto publication ban saying A, B, C, D, and EF identity must remain anonymous. This is why when the father kept talking to other YouTubers and giving interviews and wanted to pour out his feelings and emotions, this is why they are giving him grief and arresting him. And if this goes through, he could land behind bars. Let's keep going. Both breaches were apparently supported by CD, who had given interviews in both organizations, says court documents of the decision. In April 2019, AB went before Justices Francisca Mazzari, seeking a court order to prevent his father from speaking about his medical case publicly. The son or the daughter, whatever, the confused individual, right, went and said, look, I don't want my dad to be dealing with this case. I want my dad to give me freedom to do what I need to do to get my life on track. CD countered that speaking about the case important to society and to his right as a parent. The father's fighting for his right. The child is fighting for its right. Mazzari issued a protection order forbidding CD from attempting to persuade AB to abandon treatment. Mazzari issued a protection order forbidding the father from attempting to persuade AB to abandon the treatment. Forbidding, okay, the father from attempting to persuade his own child to abandon the treatment. From referring to him by his birth name and among other conditions. From sharing information about the case and medical treatment with parties other than the court, lawyers, and medical professionals. They want the father to keep his mouth shut. In other words, do not speak about the case. Do not speak about this, because this is huge. If this child gets its way, the country is doomed. I mean, the country is kind of doomed anyway. The world is kind of doomed because children are now having more power to do what they want at a younger age. Okay? And the parents are not going to have any say whatsoever. Okay? CD appealed. The court found the Bowden ruling was correct. That AB was able to consent to medical treatment. The child was able to consent to medical treatment. When it came to the Mariza protection order, the court was less accepting, concluding the court and the subsequent conditions would have required a finding of family violence occurring. As concerning as CD's conduct was, however, it does not necessarily follow that such conduct equates to the kind of psychological and emotional abuse that would constitute family violence under the Family Law Act. Okay. So they're not extremely punishing the father for really going about this aggressively. Okay. But the court issued a conduct order saying the father couldn't discuss his son's, notice they keep saying son, okay, medical treatment, mental health, or treatment with anyone other than legal counsel doctors. Okay? This order should not restrict the father's right to express his opinion in his private communication with family, close friends, and close advisors, provided none of those individuals is part or connected with the media or any public forum, and provided the father obtain assurances from those with whom he shares information or views that they will not share that information with others, the court said. They silencing him. This is wrong. This is the father's child. This is his business, and if he wants to put his business out into the world because of concerns for his child, he should be allowed to do so. How dare the court give that child the right to do what the child wants to do? Why can't they just wait? I'm being fair. Wait, you're an adult. You could do whatever it is that you want. I'm just being fair. I'm not gonna be one of those unfair type of people saying, look, I'm not gonna be all strict. Wait, just wait until you're an adult. Then you make that type of decision. Cause rumors have it. Now I am gonna do another video. How many people that had gone through these type of surgeries have want to commit suicide or are very unhappy with their lives? I'm gonna do another video because this is a big concern. We have children that are confused. In my opinion, I think we should not normalize it. If they're confused as to whether they're male or female, I'm not talking about hermaphrodites. I'm talking about someone who's born a female or a person who's born a male. Okay? For this, in his sake, that's his daughter. Okay? The daughter should not have consent or the ability to make these type of decisions until she is 18 years old. This is my opinion. Why? Because the father and the mother got together and created this child. That's their business, right? That's their business. Okay? I gave you a question before. And those of you who's tuning in at this late moment, if the child was having appendicitis, would you allow the child to make the decision to not go ahead with the surgery and remove the appendix? Or would you say, you know what? This is just a child. I am going to do whatever it takes to save this child. Again, you may think this is extreme, but I have to go to the extreme measures because this is an extreme situation. Would you allow your child to have an abortion at the age of 13? Or should the child have full control over the decision that they make? Think about that. All right? Please comment below. I think this is something that should be discussed more. I'm discussing it. I'm bringing it out on the forefront. Let's keep this conversation going. Am I wrong in siding with the father? Okay? Am I wrong? Okay? So let me know in the comments below. Talk about this, spread this video, have this conversation. Let's get this thing rolling. Okay? This thing should be bigger than it is right now. And I believe it should get really national press. Why isn't it getting this? Why they're trying to sneak in? To try and give children the ability to choose and make these type of medical decisions for themselves where parents have no say? This is dangerous. What power do you as a parent have? Anyway, this is the podcast I wanted to throw out on a Sunday night. Please enjoy this. Again, hit the like button. Hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel. I am going to be doing more controversial things like this that will actually offend people. And if you're not offended, you're not listening. I'm Slimmy V, and this is the most offensive podcast ever. God bless, stress less, and let Yahweh give you rest. I'm out. Peace.